What's up, everybody? Adam here with eTrailer. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Westin Pro Traxx Nerf Bars. With the Western Pro Traxx, we're going to have some options. Well, one, you can have the black powder coated finish, which I like that, but you can also get silver as well. That just all comes down to the look you're really going for on your vehicle. And we also have some other options. So the ones you see right here are the cab length Nerf bars, but we can also get some that'll be wheel to wheel, so it'll be a little bit longer, so we'll have an extra third step right here. So if you do have a toolbox, or you just tend to get stuff out of your truck and you need a little bit more lift to get up in there, you can get the wheel to wheels as well. There's also going to be some width options. So the ones we have right now are 4 inches wide, and when I mean 4 inches is just the width of our little step pad here. We can also get a 5-inch wide pad. So if you want more surface area to step on, just so it's a little easier for you, we have those options. One thing I like about these is the oval shape. Some of the round Nerf bars, I just don't like the looks of them. It doesn't really fill up this whole entire area. And even with the smaller steps, meaning the 4-inch wide steps, it does kind of cover all this up, so it seems full. You know what I'm talking about whenever you see running boards on a truck or whatever, and it just seems like there's just a lot of gap there. With this, it just fills it up, so it seems kind of like factory, like it's supposed to be there. It's not just some cheap bolt-on accessory. So this is going to be an upgrade from some of the entry-level type 3-inch wide Nerf bars. It's also going to be an upgrade from some of the hoop steps, just because it adds a little bit more of a look. I don't necessarily love the hoop steps, just because, again, it just doesn't seem full. I like the looks of the vehicle, and that's half of the reason why I grabbed running boards. Yes, it's nice to have a step, but looks is a big thing. When it comes to looks, I did notice on these, we actually have this little bracket that is going to cover up the metal bracket underneath. So that's kind of how it mounts to the underneath of your vehicle. But I like how they threw these in, just because, again, it looks more full and it looks really neat. This is definitely the middle of the road running board. It's an upgrade from the lower ones, but if you were to upgrade from these, if you're looking at some of the more premium options that you have, there's a couple things you can do. If you really want to grab the more premium option that just gives you more of a step, the Westin Great Steps have a 6.5-inch wide step. So if you're looking for something like that, that's probably going to be a good upgrade for you. And it also has a lot more traction because it's all metal. If you don't really like the plastic pads, even though they're not going to fade or crack over time, it would be an upgrade that way. Another one, you can get some motorized steps, which those are super fancy and fun, but I don't necessarily think that they're necessary for this truck. That's just me, but just know you do have some options for upgrades from the Pro Traxx, but you also have some low tier ones as well on our website. We have a lot, and a lot of you guys are wondering if it's going to fit your vehicle, so be sure to use our fit guide. We have all that data in there, so once you put your vehicle in, it'll connect you to the right kit. I really like how long the step is. So on these right here, it's about 23.5 inches long, which is plenty long for me. So I have a perfect spot to put my foot just getting in, just like this, which I like. But also, whenever I'm just kind of hanging out, sometimes I actually put my feet up here to look up, especially when I'm kind of driving trails and stuff. It's right there, and I have plenty of pads, so I'm not just stepping on the bare metal, so I'll have plenty of grip. I have a roof rack on my vehicle, and I use my running boards to be able to put accessories and stuff up there, whether I'm loading up my gear or just adding an accessory. It's super nice to be able to kind of come up. It's not wide enough to where I can kind of stay without having to hold myself up. Like, I can lean over and do what I need to do. But again, if you really want to be able to just have majority of your feet on the running boards whenever you're loading stuff up, you probably want to go with the 5-inch wide. And if you really want a lot, you can go with the 6.5. But this is plenty good. I'm kind of on the balls of my feet, but I can still balance up here and load stuff up. But as I start to lean back, it gets a little bit more difficult. With the 4-inch wide steps, if I measure from our rocker panel right here, it's about 3.5 inches out. So we don't get 4 inches from the very, very side, which I don't mind that at all. I really like when the running boards are really close to the vehicle. But then when you get the 5-inch steps, the point at which the inside of the rail is going to stay the same. It's just going to get a little bit wider and stick out a little farther, but we're actually still a couple inches inside where our wheels sit, and these are stock factory wheels. This isn't really going to limit your truck at all. It's just going to enable it to do more. Another thing that I like to do on my trucks is put a mud flap right here just to keep the running boards nice and clean. But another thing that I noticed about these, a lot of the end caps are plastic, and usually they keep a lot of that rust or the water out, so it prevents against rust. But this is all metal. It's just one big piece, so it's not a cap, so there's nothing really to replace there. And there's definitely not any water getting in there, of course. A benefit to having the Nerf bars being pretty close to the truck is the flex. So with the 3-inch Nerf bars, some of them, they kind of stick out a lot. And as you can see, I'm moving the truck. There's probably a little bit of flex there, but you can't really feel it. On my factory ones, on my old car, there's a lot of flex to them, and I hate that. So with these, I really like how stable and solid they are, because whenever I step on something, I just want it to be nice and solid. And the OEM ones that I have on my vehicle actually flex more than these, so that is definitely an upgrade. And another thing about the grip, this isn't going to be as much grip as some of the Westin Great Steps, just because that's literally just metal punched through, so that's going to be extremely grippy. But this does have plenty of grip, so even if you have snow on your shoes, mud on your shoes, we do have some raised edges here, and these aren't really going to wear down because it is a nice hard plastic, and it's not going to fade away or anything like that either. So I like that. I'm definitely a fan of these. The whole point of Nerf bars is just to help you and your passengers just get in, and maybe even just load some other stuff up on top of the roof, just so you don't have to step on the inside of the vehicle. You just want to keep it all nice and clean, but also it's about the looks. And with me, I think it checks that box. I like the looks of it. I also like the options, so that is another box that it checks. I just really like where you have options where the width, wheel to wheel, color options, and then of course, it's just a solid step. And that'll do it for a look at the Westin Pro Traxx Nerf bars.